second. Level marking questions are very important for the history and culture of Pakistan, this paper 1 of Pakistan studies, because your exam, the paper 1 is all about the level marking questions. It is a total of 2 sections. So yeah, section A and section B. Section A is a compulsory section, whereas section B is optional. So the questions in both of these sections, section A and section B, are based on this level marking technique that I will explain to you guys now. So the most important, we're going to talk about section B now. Section A compulsory questions have a different kind of pattern, but section B, the most repeated questions, you're given with a total of 4 questions in section B, and you will be asked to choose 2 questions to attempt among those 4 questions. All right, so 2 from 4. And those 2 questions will also be a set of 3 questions. So a set of 3 questions, part A, part B, and part C. So part A of the 3 questions is usually a point marking question. It is of 4 marks. And you'll be asked to write 4 points regarding whatever information you're asked. The question is usually about the personalities, important events, right? Important places, or anything like that. So you basically tested about the facts over here. An example question could be, who was Robert Clive? Four mark. So now you need to write any 4 points for this question, 4 points for the answer. For example, Robert Clive was the general of the Mughal army. So British leader of British army. And he was very brave and courageous and influential as well. So brave or influential. Number 3, you could write about the Battle of Plassey. Bravely fought the Battle of Plassey. And he was one of the main reasons as to why the British so easily expanded their control in the subcontinent, right? Because of his tactics, because of his expertise, right? And there's another fact about him, that Robert Clive in 1767, when he returned home in England, he was accused of running a corrupt administration. So, that's just a fact. You can write about that. Writing about a fact always makes your question very strong. So 1767, accused of corruption. I'd really suggest you guys to talk about these facts, mention these important dates, write about important places, write different names in the question, right? So names of important personalities. This makes your answer really strong. So the next type of question is a 7 mark question, which is part B. The 7 mark question requires you to write 3 reasons for the answer. It's a level marking question. So it's better that you make 3 paragraphs for the 3 reasons, and those 3 reasons have to be properly stated. First of all, you need to state the reason. You write the reason, you explain the reason, and you analyze the reason. So let's do an example question here. Why did the British Why did the British enter subcontinent for trade? Seven mark. So this question, what you're going to do is you'll write 3 reasons for this question. I'm going to tell you an exact pattern of writing just one reason. For example, if let's say you're saying British entered India because of the resources of subcontinent. So you're going to state the reason that the British entered because subcontinent was very resourceful. All right, this is the statement. You're going to get a mark for this, but now you need to explain this reason as well. So the explanation of the statement could be the subcontinent had these farmlands producing cotton, jute, and spices. And the British were interested in importing these items, in exporting these items from the subcontinent to the UK, right? So British were interested purchase the local products from the Indians. So this is an explanation of what we have written here. The reason was that the subcontinent was very resourceful, and the explanation was this the farms, the cotton, jute, spices, and everything. And now we're going to write an analysis for this. Analysis is how you close an answer, how you present a closing remark for the entire reason that you've written, right? So the analysis for this could be that due to the resources of the subcontinent, British saw the subcontinent as a potential market for trade. I think, yeah, that's it. They saw the subcontinent as a potential market for trade. This was a closing remark. And you're going to look at the question again. When you write an analysis, you look at the question again. Why did the British enter the subcontinent? So you ask yourself, are you exactly answering the question? Have you written everything that's demanded in the question? So why did they enter the subcontinent? They entered for trade. They entered for trade because of the resources of the subcontinent. British saw it as a potential market for trade, as they could purchase Indian goods at very minimal costs. So now we have analyzed the reason properly, and this is one reason. This entire thing is one reason that you're writing for a 7-mark question. You need to write a total of 3 reasons for this. All right, we're gonna now move on to the next question. The third one is a 14-mark question. Part C is a 14-mark question. So there are a total of 2 to 3 further types of these 14-mark questions. But for now, in this lecture, we're going to just talk about this one very famous 14-mark question that usually asks you to write all the reasons for a particular question. So what happens in this question is that they give you a reason, and then they ask you to whether you agree with the statement or not, and then they ask you to give further reasons for that. For example, a question could be like, was the arrival of British the main reason for the decline of the Mughal Empire? Do you agree? Explain. So now, in this kind of a question, you will first of all divide your answer into two levels. I mean, four levels, but major two levels. So level one is just a simplistic statement. You start your question with that. For example, I mean, you see, we've studied 7 reasons for the decline of Mughal Empire. And remember, a 14-mark question always needs to have 7 reasons and 1 evaluation, a total of 8 paragraphs. It is, I mean, the examiners, they don't really require paragraphing, but it's always good to structure your answer in paragraphs because that makes it easily understandable. And obviously the answer must stand out as well. So 7 reasons and 1 evaluation. Was the arrival of British the main reason for the decline of Mughal empires? You've already studied 7 reasons for this. So because the question has already written this reason for you, the arrival of British, you're going to start off your answer by writing this reason, by explaining this reason. This is what level 3 is. This is how you achieve level 3, by explaining the reason that's written in the question. So your simplistic statement could be, here you're going to start off with a simplistic statement by just saying that arrival of British was one of the reasons for the decline of Mughal Empire, but there were other reasons as well. Okay. And then on level 3, you're going to explain arrival of British, explain the reason mentioned in the question. In the same format, guys: statement, explanation, analysis. Once you're done with this, you're going to explain other reasons. Explain 6 other reasons. All right. You're going to talk about the administration, the declining military expertise, the weak control, the succession disputes, the pleasure-seeking lifestyle, and everything that we've studied. Okay. 6 other reasons, and all of those reasons should be stated, explained, and analyzed properly. And once you're done with all of this, you make a separate paragraph for the evaluation. And evaluation is where you present your judgment, where you tell that which reason do you think was the most important. And you also explain that in the evaluation. Why are you stating XYZ reason as the most important? You also tell that. You try to convince the examiner that this is the most important reason by obviously summarizing all the points that you've written in the question before. All right, this is how you attempt the 3 questions. I mean, most of your paper is based on the sets of these questions. So please try attempting this question for practice. The arrival of British was the main reason for the decline of Mughal empires. 14-mark questions are the most important because they contain the most weightage of your exam paper. 2 14-mark questions is there's one 10-mark question and 3 7-mark questions in your paper. So these questions are very, very important. I hope this is clear to everyone here.